Howdy there, Internet students. It's Mr. Hermanson again, and we're going over some frequently missed questions in the Chapter 10 mid-chapter review. And it seems like number 14 caused some problems for some student. And in that one, we're going to use the area of a regular polygon as 1/2 times the apothem times the perimeter. And in this problem here, number 14, we were given actually the apothem is 6, but in order to figure out the problem, we would need to know what the perimeter is. So we have 1/2 times 6, and the perimeter, we would need to know this value down here so that we could find the side length of the hexagon. And remember that this would be a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So if we took x times the square root of 3, we would get 6. So that means x equals 6 divided by the square root of 3. In simplest radical form, that would be 6 times the square root of 3 over 3. And 6 divided by 3 is 2, so 2 times the square root of 3. But that's only half of this distance. So actually, if we double that, so make it 4 times the square root of 3, that would be one side, and then multiply that by 6 for the full perimeter, so that would be 24 times the square root of 3. And when we multiply this out, we get 1/2 times 6 is 3 times 24 is 72 times the square root of 3. And then we're going to round that to the nearest 10th because that's what it asked for. Looks like that's about 124.7. All right, the next question we're going to go over is number 17. It says the radius of a regular hexagon is 5 feet. What is the area of the hexagon to the nearest square foot? So let's go ahead and think about that same little triangle we did on the last problem. So if I think about that triangle at the bottom of the hexagon, then x is the apothem of that triangle, of that hexagon. And it says the radius is 5, that would be this side. Well, the base would be half of, since it's a 30, 60, 90 triangle, would be half of the hypotenuse, so that'd be 2.5. And then the apothem would be 2.5 times the square root of 3. Okay, so now I can go ahead and plug in the formula. We need 1/2 times the apothem, which is 2.5 times the square root of 3, times the perimeter, which would be this 2.5 doubled, which is 5, and then there's 6 sides would be 30. And if I multiply that out, that comes to 64 point, well, we're supposed to round it to the nearest square foot, so that would be 65. All right, the next problem I thought we should look at, seems like quite a few students got number 20 incorrect. It says the areas of two similar triangles are 1.44 and 1. We'll find their scale factor. So the ratio of the areas is 1.44 over 1. The scale factor is the square root of those numbers. So that would be the square root of 1.44 over the square root of 1, which is 1.2 over 1. And if we wanted that to be a common fraction, that we'd probably have to write it like multiply by 5 would get us a whole number. So 6 to 5 would be the scale factor. And then one more problem that quite a few people missed was number 23. Describe two different methods for finding the area of the regular hexagon. What is the area? I'm just going to go over the area, but basically, if you found the area of this triangle, and then you could multiply that by 6. That would be one method. The other method would just be to use this formula. So let's go ahead and do the first method. So to find the area of the triangle, I would need to know the height of the triangle, which is the same as the apothem. And if the whole bottom side here is 6 times the square root of 3, then this little part right here would be half of that, which is 3 times the square root of 3. And remember that the long side of a triangle, a 30, 60, 90 triangle, is the short side times the square root of 3, and that equals 9. So we have a height of 9 on this triangle. So, and the base is 6 times the square root of 3. So I'm going to do 1/2 times the base, which is 6 times the square root of 3, times the height, which is 9. And that's equal to 27 times the square root of 3. Remember, that's just one triangle, so now I need to multiply that by 6. And 27 times 6 equals 162 times the square root of 3. All right, that'll do it. Hope you found that helpful, and we'll talk to you soon.